Welcome to our lecture online. In this example, which is very similar to the previous one, we're going to get a solution. Again, it's going to be in a complex number format, and then we're going to plug that back into the original equation to show that the left side equals the right side. It'll be a little bit of work, but it'll be worth it because I think it shows nicely how complex numbers can be solutions to quadratic equations like this. So first we must solve for x, and again, if we have an equation in this format, then we can solve for x by using the quadratic formula. So we need to recognize what a, b, and c are. So in this case, a is equal to the coefficient of x squared, which is 9. B is equal to the coefficient of the x term, which is minus 12. And c is equal to the constant. So let's plug that now in the quadratic formula to see what we get. X is equal to minus b, that would be minus times the minus 12, which is 12, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 12 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a, which would be 2 times 9. Okay, now I need to simplify that. So we have x is equal to 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 4 times 9 is 36 times 13, that's 360, plus 108, that would be minus 468, all divided by 2 times 9, which is 18, which is equal to 12 plus or minus the square root of, if I subtract this from that, I get 324, so it's negative 324 divided by 18. So x is equal to, that would be 12 plus or minus the square root of 81 times the square root of 4 times the square root of negative 1. Notice that 4 times 80 is 320, 4 times 1 is 4, that's 324, and the negative is square root of negative 1, all divided by 18. Okay, which is equal to 12 plus or minus, that would be 9 times 2, which is 18 times I, because the square root of negative 1 is I, all divided by 18. And 12 divided by 18 is 2/3, so this is equal to 2/3 plus or minus I. And that means that x equals 2/3 plus I, or x equals 2/3 minus I. So these are the two possible solutions for that equation. Notice both of them are complex numbers. That's why we need complex numbers. Supposedly, when we plug these back in the original equation, the left side will equal the right side. And now the numbers is simple enough where we can probably do that. So let's go ahead and plug that into our original equation to see if the left side equals the right side. So, to check, let's plug in x equals 2/3 plus I. When we do that, we get 9 times 2/3 plus I squared minus 12 times 2/3 plus I plus 13, and is that equal to 0? That's what we're trying to find out. Okay, over here, let's see, we're going to square that, so we get 9 times 2/3 squared, which is 4/9, plus twice the product of the two, so that would be plus 4/3 I, plus the last term squared, which would be plus I squared, minus 12 times this, that would be minus 8, minus 12I, and here we have plus 13. Is that question mark equal to 0? All right, I know that this is negative 1. So negative 1, which is negative 9 9s plus 4 9s, that would be 5 9s. So we have 9 times 5, negative 5 9s. That's negative 1 added to 4 9s gives me negative 5 9s. Plus 4/3 I, minus 8, minus 12I, plus 13 equals 0. I can combine these two already. That gives me plus 5. And here when I multiply, I get 9 minus 5. 3 goes into 9 3 times. That would be plus 12I. Minus 8 plus 13, which is plus 5, minus 12I equals 0, question mark. Notice the 5 cancels out, and the 12I cancels out, so I end up with 0 equals 0, and sure enough, I notice that this is a valid part of the solution. Now, if I plug in the other value, I probably will get the same result. I'll leave that up to you to try at home, but at least we can see that, yes, we end up with a solution that when we plug it back in the original equation, it does indeed satisfy the equation. And that's what it's all about. Solve an equation means find the values for x that will make the left side equal to the right side, even when x is a complex number. And that is how it's done.